Oke guys, video kali ini kita akan mengobrol dengan orang yang hmm, ini orang hebat. Hebat banget sih menurut gue ya. Gue sampai tidak bisa berkata-kata gitu ya ketika lihat buku-buku dia, terus perjalanan hidup dia gitu ya. Kayak, wow ya kan. Makanya kita akan mengobrol langsung aja dengan orangnya supaya lebih jelas juga gitu ya. Orangnya itu adalah orang yang membawa Singapura nih, negara tetangga kita, dari negara yang miskin menjadi negara yang sekarang GDP per kapitanya luar biasa banget gitu ya, menjadi jajaran negara terkaya di dunia gitu ya. Kita akan langsung aja menghubungkan dengan orangnya langsung, yaitu Mr. Lee Kuan Yew. Oke, sebentar, sedang menghubungkan ya. Oke, kita terhubung guys. Hello, Mr. Lee Kuan Yew. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Arul, and I'm very pleased to have opportunity to talk with you. I will call you sir. You not problem about that?
Of course, no problem. You can call me sir. Hello, Arul. Nice to meet you. Where are you from?
I'm from Indonesia, sir.
Oh, Indonesia. Apparently my neighboring country.
Yes, exactly right. Sir, I will to start with some question to begin our conversation, of course. If I may to ask, what year and were you born, sir?
I was born on September 16, 1923, in Singapore, which was then part of British Malaya. I grew up here too, and my family was middle class. My early education was at Telok Kurau Primary School, then the then prestigious Raffles Institution. After that, I attended Raffles College before continuing my law studies at the University of Cambridge, England. The early days during the Japanese occupation in World War II greatly shaped my views on survival and resilience. Yeah, that's about it.
Whoa, I can see you are not someone who gives up easy. It's clear from the way you view circumstance and think about become resilient. Alright, sir. Honestly, this is what makes me curious about your country, of course. The first time I saw you, I was saw you on some media showing you crying because your country, Singapore, and what explained from the Federation of Malaysia, what exactly is the story behind those tears?
Where do I begin? It's quite a long story. Well, here goes. It was a turbulent period indeed. In 1963, Singapore joined Malaysia to form a new federation, hoping for economic stability and a larger market after independence from Britain. Essentially joined Malaysia for economic and security reasons. We wanted a larger market and protection from the communist threat. But there was a fundamental tension from the start. The central government in Kuala Lumpur wanted to implement a Bumi policy that prioritized Malays, while Singapore's population was predominantly ethnic Chinese. Deep ideological differences emerged. Racial tensions between the Malay majority in Malaysia and the Chinese majority population in Singapore, differences in economic policies, and political clashes. Malaysia is more in favor of affirmative action for Malays, while we encourage meritocracy. They are worried that we will upset the national racial balance. When my People's Action Party PAP won the election in Singapore and began Myanmar ambition in Malaysia, she was perceived as a threat. There were racial riots in Singapore in 1964, instigated externally. In 1965, this problem escalated, and to those who amount differences, Singapore was finally expelled from the Federation on August 9, 1965. It was a painful separation. It was a separation forced by circumstances. I cried on television when I made the announcement because I felt I had failed to maintain unity. But realistically, separation was the only way to prevent both sides from destroying each other.
After independence, Singapore was a very difficult situation. No natural research, high unemployment, weak industrial base. How were you able to turn that around?
Singapore in the 1960s was a third world port city, rife with poverty, unemployment, corruption, and no natural resources. There was no choice but to survive. We knew Singapore was a small island with no land, no water, no oil. Our only assets were our geographic location, our major trade routes, and our people. As Prime Minister from 1959 to 1990, I focused on building a clean and efficient government through stringent anti-corruption measures to eradicate corruption. We created an independent Corrupt Practices Investigation Bureau (CPIB) and paid high salaries to civil servants to prevent them from being tempted by bribes. We invest heavily in education to create a skilled workforce,
One moment, sir.
focusing
One
on
moment,
education
please.
and meritocracy,
I'm sorry.
the person's ability and integrity.
Sorry for interrupting your speech, sir. Let me first explain meritocracy, as many people may still be unfamiliar with it. Meritocracy is a system to keep reward, position, and soon based on a person's achievement, abilities, and integrity. So it's a very fair system because it's not based on family background. Alright, sir. Please continue.
Okay, Arul, thank you for the brief explanation. Okay, I'll continue. We educate children regardless of race or religion. The best children advance, not the luckiest. We modernize our ports to become the best in the world. We also built Changi Airport and made it an international hub. All of this was done with the utmost discipline and without compromise. We are opening our doors wide to foreign investment. We offer political stability, clear laws, a well-educated workforce, and world-class infrastructure. Attract multinational corporations with tax incentives and stable policies, build public housing to stabilize communities, and transform our strategic location into a global trade and financial hub. We shifted from entrepôt trade to manufacturing, then to high-tech industries and services. By emphasizing meritocracy, the rule of law, and long-term planning, we transformed the poor country into one with the highest GDP per capita.
After hearing your explanation, I now understand why Singapore is now as one the richest country. GDP Singapore is so big. Besides that, sir, I'm also interested in Singapore passport that can enter 190 countries. What is the main foundation of the strength of the Singapore passport, sir?
Yes, that's why I said, Arul, clean government, education policies, that's why the Singaporean passport is one of the strongest in the world. People believe that Singapore passport holders are citizens of a stable, wealthy, and responsible country. We have good diplomatic relations with almost all major countries, not siding with any bloc, but useful to all. That's why we have visa-free access to over 190 countries. Not because we begged, because the world respects what we've built.
Thank you very much, sir. You truly inspire me about how small country can become a great through discipline and long-term vision.
You're welcome, Arul. I hope this can inspire in others. Remember, there are no miracles. Just hard work, honesty, and not wasting time on unimportant things. Good luck fighting for your nation.
I hope I can fight for my nation, sir. Thank you again. Our conversation has been quite long. Let's end it here for now. If there are more questions later, perhaps I contact you again.
Okay, I will be happy to answer your call.
Okay, see you another time, sir.
Okay, see you again, Aru.
Oke guys, jadi gitu aja video kali ini. Coba siapa lagi yang akan kita ajak ngobrol? Siapa sih yang kalian penasaran ya? Dan kita bisa dapat pengetahuan dan sejarah yang banyak gitu ya. Kayak Pak Li gitu ya, kan itu ceritanya benar-benar luar biasa banget ya. Sekian aja videonya. Makasih udah nonton. Jangan lupa like, comment, dan subscribe.